You know, it's funny. Somehow a recording of some cops trying to violate some homeless dude went missing. The footage, or I didn't record it, or something like that. But it's funny, as I was trying to walk away from it, I was on the street with no sidewalk or anything like that, and I'm pretty sure the law technically is without a sidewalk or a crosswalk, you can cross at any intersection or public access. But the fact of the matter is that jaywalking is crossing the road. No matter how much you want to wrap it in a law and legal schmubbery, it's walking across the road. They do not morally or constitutionally have the right to tell you that you can't cross a road because it's not at a specific spot. Oh, but it's for safety. You can cross unsafely at a designated spot. Unsafe crossing is crossing into traffic. It has nothing to do with actual safety. It is the very definition of those who sacrifice liberty for freedom lose both and deserve neither. So crosswalking is for my safety, but if I violate that, then cops can beat me or murder me, and that's for me. That's to protect me. What absurd logic cop supporters need. You have to mentally backbend into a pretzel to support cops, and it's disgusting. And the main point of my video is that there is no such thing as a Christian cop supporter. I don't care how much of a Christian you think you are, and that goes for a lot of Christians that I have grown up thinking were Christian pastors, nice people. But when it comes down to it, even if you believe Paul was talking about government when he said that we need to respect the authorities put ahead of us, even though he wasn't. He was talking about Christian authorities, pastors, elders, deacons, stuff like that. It wasn't the government authority. If you think the government is established by God, then how do you explain, Saudi Arabia, North Korea, all those other things? The government is literally the epitome of man's evil, bolstered by the devil. And of course, because I bring Christianity into it, a lot of even anti-coppers are turned off by it, I'm sure. But trust me, you cannot support a group of thugs who violate the law. The Constitution is the law, no matter how much you want to worship cops because you view them as an authoritative figure. The Constitution is the law. And 99% of laws are unconstitutional, period. License plates are forced identification. You have the right to remain anonymous without reasonable suspicion. And guess what? Socializing roads, forcing everyone onto there, and then saying, oh, we created these things called moving violations. They're this magical little niche where you don't get a trial by jury, but it's technically illegal, so we can violate your rights. No! Like, how much brainwashing does it take you to think that a constitution that says itself that we have unalienable rights granted by our Creator? I don't care if you believe that is evolution or whatever. The fact of the matter is, the legal document, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution say that our rights are not granted by the government. They're not given by the government. They're not protected by the government. They are given to us as humans with the right to live and prosper and exist. The way that bears have the right to claws and teeth, humans have the right to guns. And even just that, YouTube will make sure that this gets censored because of that. Because I'm not 8 minutes in, so I don't want to waste too much breath. But if you claim to be a Christian and you support cops because you think they're an authoritative figure and that God you are falling to the doctrine of demons. Cops are evil, vile animals. Remember, Jesus stepped in and saved Mary from being stoned by technically Jewish cops. They were the law enforcement of the Jewish community. They were the cops of the Jews. Jesus stepped in between them. And don't forget how many times Jesus called them snakes and vile, evil creatures for doing the exact thing that modern day fucking cops do. Go around parading, pretending they're upright and righteous while they break the law, violate rights, and turn around and murder you for petty, pathetic little crimes. Chasing people down over a broken taillight and murdering them. Not having a driver's license, a piece of plastic. You think it's okay to beat, murder, even rob and kidnap and throw them in jail over a piece of plastic. Human registration, slavery. You have no moral ground to stand on. Saying it's the law is not morality. It's the deprivation of morality. It's the absence of morality. It is depraved, psychopathic. The term for sociopath, where you think that the law gives you a moral ground to stand on, where you can watch people be murdered, tortured, robbed, kidnapped, oppressed, and because there's a law attached to it, you get gratification out of that. You think that there's some righteousness in that when it's not. It's pure evil, pure doctrine of demons. By God's grace, this makes it to one ear of a Christian following cops because they think they are commanded to. No, the government in general is demonic. It is the entity of evil embodied. Like the devil uses the government to control and oppress. There's a reason why elite PDF files aren't being held accountable, and it's not just because the orange demon himself is on the list. They would be protected even if he wasn't. It's because they are being used to run the world. I'm just gonna end it here because nobody's gonna see this. And how do you explain to somebody without any feedback pure brainwashing? And if you're a Christian and you hear this, it should leak through, because if you're a true Christian and you have any sense of the Bible, it's Revelations. It's the book of Revelations. And this is a warning. By the grace of God, it reaches one ear.